down to dunk.
And I'm down to dunk.
I'm down to dunk.
This is J-Dub, and I'm down to dunk.
I'm Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, and I'm down to dunk.
This is Lindy Waters, and I'm down to dunk.
I'm Mike Muscala, and I'm down to dunk.
This is Jay Will, and I'm down to dunk.
This is Kenneth Williams, and I'm down to dunk.
This is Lou Dort, and I'm down to dunk.
We say this is Lou Dort, and I'm down to Dort.
This is Lou Dort, and I'm down to Dort.
Cracklin Oat Bran?
Have you had Cracklin Oat Bran?
No.
No. Okay.
But it's healthy.
Are you a big oat brand guy?
I'm a big Oat Bran guy.
Okay.
I think I would switch it with Fruity Pebbles.
Okay, eat faster. Don't put as much in the bowl.
If you have a gallon of milk, I can also take home.
You don't have milk at home?
One cinnamon toast.
Okay.
Crunch.
Yeah. Cereal is great. Yeah.
Welcome to Down to Dunk. I'm your host, Andrew Schlecht. We're part of the Athletic Podcast Network. With me, special guest from the Dunker Spot, another Dunk Pod. I've got Steve Jones. Steve, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me. Feeling good, feeling great. Down to dunk, obviously. So I'm excited to be here.
Yes. If you're on YouTube, I don't even know how this happened, but I hit the wrong intro because I do a Down to Dunk intro every year. Somehow I hit one from like 2 years ago. So if you're watching on YouTube, you got a little blast from the past. It's not the current one with Aaron Wiggins acting all goofy. Anyways, if you don't listen to the Dunker Spot, one, you're making a big mistake in your life because Steve does a great job over there with Nikias, who's been on the show before. But Steve like just breaks things down. Like he knows the game very well. In your Twitter profile, it says that you coached 2 summer league games.
Correct.
What teams were those? Are there any memorable players from those teams that like come to mind?
I was in Brooklyn. We played in both Vegas and Orlando.
Okay.
So I'm pretty sure I did the Orlando one by default because we had 2 planes going and everyone was on the first plane.
Yeah.
So it was like, well, you're coaching, buddy. So we had Rondé Hollis Jefferson. I drew the first play for him to drive left. He didn't make the shot. I coached against Patrick Ewing.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, that was very weird.
Yeah.
Break the huddle. I look down to the other side. It's just Patrick Ewing sitting there. I'm like, this is why am I here? I'm not sure this should happen. And then in Vegas, I coached the last game against the then D-League All-Stars.
Oh, the D-League All-Stars.
Yeah. So let me just tell you, there's not a team that was ever going to play harder in Summer League than the D-League All-Stars.
Totally.
So, yeah, I learned that very quickly. It was our last game of 2 Summer Leagues, and they were raring to go. So, yeah, that's why I poke at myself and say 0-2. 0-2 is Summer League head coach.
0-2. Let's talk about a team that is 21-1, the Oklahoma City Thunder, who, they won the title. And the thing that we kept telling people on this show last year was like, last year might be the worst version of the Thunder that you get. Was that team last year. And so far this year has been obviously extremely successful in so many ways, but also strange because they've had different guys out that will force you to play in different ways. Having Hartenstein out forces you to play in a different way. Having J-Dub out forces you to play a little bit of a different way. But we'll just start here. What have you seen from the Thunder that you feel like looks like the most improved or like the most different from last year's Thunder team?
I think for me, it's just there's a machine aspect to them this year that is just different, and that they are kind of overwhelming with both how they play on both ends of the floor. I don't even know if it's improvement, but like offensively, they just get from side to side. Like there's no real bogging them down. They're going to get to their first action. If it's not, they're going to go to the second action. They're going to the third one. They're going to keep you moving. They're going to keep pressure on you. And there were elements last year where you could kind of get them into, hey, take some quicker shots. Yeah. Or we can be physical and let's get you late in the clock, or let's get you into one-on-one. They don't really get into those modes. Like they just have so many people that are smart and play well. Like you never know when it's going to be a random Alex Caruso flash, or Chet Holmgren starts in the corner, he roams up to the middle, and now he's setting a pick and roll just because he happened to be there. Like go from action to action offensively. And then defensively, they're so physical. I think they've done such a great job of understanding how to be physical without the refs saying, hey, what are you doing? Like, they just jab you. Like, hey, you want to drive? Here's a hand on your hip. Here, I'm showing my other hand. I'll show both my hands eventually, and then we'll just get after you. But their versatility on both ends has really stood out early, because I don't know who I've really looked at and been like, wow, OKC's in danger. OKC's in trouble.
Yeah, for sure. Everything just feels easier offensively this year, and teams are throwing a lot of zone at them because they're like, oh, Denver did such a good job. Like, let's just do that. And it is almost like unlocked things for them.
I actually, you know what? I think now that you mentioned that, that's the thing they've improved on the most, because I feel like every time a team throws zone at them, they immediately get it out of there. Like, we're just, okay, automatic, whatever, one screen, get it to the middle. Now what do you do? And it's like, I don't know how many teams have felt good about the times they've gone zone against OKC. And that's like, they just say, no, not today. Not with us.
Yeah. And I hope that Denver is healthy. They don't play Denver until February 1st. And so I hope that by the time we get around to February 1st, that Denver's healthy. We get to see them zone up against the Thunder again. And that to me will be the real marker of how improved are they, because that Denver, they don't appear to be a team that could stop OKC defensively, but the way that they execute their zone is just like to precision. And other teams just haven't been very good at it. And we even saw that in the playoffs against Minnesota. Minnesota just wasn't very good at it, and the Thunder were able to just kind of rip it apart. Shea has had an unbelievable start. I think like a couple things that he's certainly improved. I think his passing looks better. I think his ability to get to whatever shot he wants was always there, but I feel like it's like ticked up a couple notches. Feel free to use whatever stats you want for all the Vorpers out there. If you want to want to give people that, or if you just want to tell us like what you've seen from Shea here, would love whatever you got on Shea so far.
See, I think Shea's fine with the Vorpers. They have all the stats they need for Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. They don't need any of my basic box score stats. They're good.
Okay.
I think when it comes to Shea, I'm glad you brought the passing, because that's the first thing I noticed early in the season. I'm like, the playmaking is here. I feel like one of the things we see in today's NBA, we talk about the top stars, the Lukas, the Jokic's, it's how they're able to kind of bend defenses and make plays and, make you pay for your coverage. And Shea kind of got dinged with that a couple times by people. I feel like this year it's not the same. He's creating looks. He's understanding where the passes are, where the defense is. And so when teams try and double him, or they try and put two on the ball and be aggressive and pick and roll, he's just making so much better and cleaner decisions and making quicker passes that makes it really hard to send that kind of help to him. So when he has that playmaking going within the Thunder machine, within what he's doing scoring wise, it's tough. And then to the scoring portion of it, every year he's just added something to his game.
Yep.
Like every single year he's gotten better, and it's like, okay, I got the straight line drives. I can get by you. I can get in the post and I can go to work. Pick and roll, I can get a lot better. I thought that was a huge part, him and Hartenstein, the growth they had. I was like, okay, now he can play pick and roll. He can do that a little bit better. But I can get to whatever mid-range I want. This addition of this little step back three that he just dribbles in, and the timing of these is what is kind of sick. Like it's not always fourth quarter, but fourth quarter they hurt the most. Sometimes it's like first half. A team will make a basket, outlet to Shea. He just hits a quick one. And it's like, wait, what do you mean? And now you have to think about that, because he has the dribble moves to keep you off balance. You're trying to protect the drive. The mid-range step back's coming. Now he just casually sprinkles one of those in early. And now teams are like, okay, do we put size on him? Well, he's got the dribble moves. He gets those tall people off balance and gets where he wants. Goes short for quickness. Well, I got the size advantage now. So it's just a give and take. And I think he's just had complete command of his offense so far this year.
Yeah, he's had just a tremendous start. He's the only guy that hasn't missed time, because everybody else on the team has at least missed one game. And so that is a huge reason why they are 21-1. It's like you have that guy. And that's the thing, is that it doesn't really matter what combination you put out there. One, the Thunder just play like really, really smart basketball players. Like everybody that plays can play multiple positions. They can play in different schemes. They're all very, very good. And so if you just have Shea with whoever, that's just like they found, hey, that's a winning combination for them. So I did want to ask you about the double big lineup and just what your thoughts on that. Because I've been asking people about it. I've asked Mark Dagnall about it and like what just his thoughts on like how they've been like how do they plan for this? Like what does that look like? They're not really watching tape on like teams from the past that play double big. They're kind of just they say they're working from like off of like the base of like who these two players are and then trying to create from there. And I've even asked like some people behind the scenes about that and they're like, yeah, like we're not watching like throwback tape of Tim Duncan, David Robinson for sure, just because like, skill levels are just on a completely different level. So I just wondered just like what your thoughts are on the double big when we got to see it earlier in the season.
I think for me, the way that it works within this team is one, everything's internal with the Thunder. From everything I've gathered, they believe in who they are. They know what you want to do, and they get there. Chet and Hartenstein have such a different skill set in a sense that they can complement each other without truly getting in the way, and they can both be used in different ways. So I think that's where, and I think for me, the majority of the double big lineups these days, you just need two people who can hold up defensively, because that's a big part of it, and offensively complement each other as far as being able to, one can space, one can roll, one can shoot, one can operate and dribble handoffs. And when you have that, it doesn't really, it gives you an advantage to a degree, because now if you're a team, you're trying to match up, it doesn't really matter. You have to put a big on one of these two.
Yep.
So we're going to be able to run what we want to run. You can't really muck us up that way. And OKC is unique anyways, because hey, we'll just put a guard in the dunker spot. It doesn't matter. So I think because of what, and also because of what Hartenstein brings to the table with his ability to do dribble handoffs, his short roll reads, his ability to finish rolling, I think it just helps to have that as well. So it's like, for me, my back of brain thing has always been someone has to poke at that lineup. Like someone's got to get at them on the other end of the floor. We got to make them not be able to have success defensively and make you take that off the table. Problem is, it's the Thunder, so if they only have to go single big, they're fine, because that's just what they've been doing anyways.
Yep. It's kind of their bread and butter. It's I always call it their fastball. Like Chet at center is like it's kind of their fastball.
Yeah, so it's tough, but that's like the Thunder are so next man up, and it was like I think it was last year in the finals, listening to Dagnall in the press conferences, like on media day. I got a different perspective on this team, and just like what they are, because I had never really heard a coach talk about expanding his rotation through the playoffs, or through a series, and I was like, that's interesting.
Yeah,
and I'm like, okay. This is not only next man up. This is okay. We're gonna build this up. We're gonna be who we are. We're gonna expand our options, and every game's different, and we'll figure it out. And ever since then, I've looked at the Thunder differently. Like this is madman work, because it doesn't matter who's been out there. They just do what they do.
Yeah. That's kind of the thing that. And when Mark started doing this, it was during the rebuild. Not a lot of people are paying attention, but there was like for a while, because we had Scott Brooks and Billy Donovan. It was like, wait a minute, like what are these rotations? Like he's just like on Tuesday he didn't play this guy, but now he's playing in big minutes and he's going in the game at this time and not that time, and they're playing a different starting lineup to start the third quarter than they did the first quarter, and it's all over the place. And at times you kind of talk yourself into the fact like, oh, the guys don't even know what's coming. How can they thrive in an environment where they don't know what's coming? But one, I think some of this is like the guys that they've chosen, like through the drafts, like Presti and his team, like the people that they've chosen to be in this place. I think is like a huge component to this. But I think they kind of like the fact that they all know that they need to stay ready. Like anybody can be inserted into the game at any time with any role. Like no one really knows what is going to happen from game to game. And that's become more of an asset than it is a detriment to them. And even during the finals, I mean, AJ Mitchell, who I do want to ask you about, was just like thrown into the game during game one. And everybody's looking around like, wait, what? Like this, like Mark, like we're all, Mark, this is the NBA finals, bro. Like what are we doing here? But it was so in character, for that team to do something like that. And they kind of continue to, they don't want to be conventional. Like they truly want to like discover whatever there is to discover about, the teams that they have. And Mark's kind of the perfect coach for that. What else like shaped your opinion on it? Like what like I want you to expand maybe on that. You said it changed the way you thought about the Thunder. Like, can you expand on that at all?
I just had a better understanding of what it mean, like the internal development aspect of it,
Mhm.
and how much not just from the coaching, but the players buying into everything, like the whole being better than some of the parts. And
Yeah.
if you have that mindset and everyone kind of has that ability to understand what the job is, yeah, it makes a lot more sense that anyone who's put in knows what they're supposed to do. And you see that, we saw it last year, you see it this year. Um, there's no real questions about the role or what we're doing on either end of the floor. They just kind of get after it. And just like understanding, Coach Dadnall was talking about like, trusting the work and building our muscles and then flexing them when the time is needed. You can kind of see how they've shape shifted over the last few years as far as just adding different things. Like this used to be a drive and kick team, and like they were the most drive and kick team in the league. And then okay, well that's going to get us this far. What else can we add to it? Okay, we need more pick and roll, we need more handoffs, we need more versatility. Defensively, the fact that they're just able to kind of do a whole lot. Like the personnel helps, but they fly around, they rotate, they cover for each other. And being able to kind of, it's hard. Like I say, you got to poke at the bigs, but it's hard because Chet in particular has gotten really good this year.
Right.
I don't know what exactly you're doing in pick and roll. Not that I don't understand what he's doing, but he's at the level. He's like, I might come out here, I might not. I get out, and they have so many great screen navigators that he really only has to be up there for a beat. He gets out, and now what have you gotten? You have no advantage. So like those kind of things are where it's like, okay, I get how they can continue to add to this because everyone's on the same page, everyone gets it, and they're all empowered to be themselves within the system.
Mhm. What have you noticed from Chet specifically this year? He's offensively, I feel like he's taken a big leap, and then defensively, he's kind of back after he's talked a lot about it, like he's got his legs back, which is a huge deal. But what have you noticed about him?
Confidence seems like a cheap way out, but like he just seems more confident in what he's doing. There's less hesitation offensively.
Yeah.
It feels a lot smoother where he's at in different parts of the court. And I think defensively to the legs portion, you just see him being a little bit more mobile, a little bit more active. But it's like for me with Chet, it's more okay. If I'm running the wing, I'm not necessarily looking to go to the next action. I might shot fake and drive real quick. Like I'm going to take this opportunity, as opposed to let me wait for it. Let me try and see what's happening. So I've liked that he's just been more assertive offensively. It's probably where I go.
Mm-hmm. And then I did want to ask what you thought about AJ Mitchell so far this season. He's made a massive leap from year one to year two.
Well, my first thought was, boy, he's aggressive early in the season. And I was like, oh, he's going to get them up. And then he kept getting them up. And then he was making them. And I was like, oh, this is an interesting addition, because we look at obviously having guys in and out. He had a big opportunity. He made the most of it.
Mm-hmm.
But he's able to do it on both ends of the floor. And then he kind of adds another layer to you on both ends, right? Because he's got that ability to score, self-create, drive within what OKC does. So now if you're going side to side, especially with some of the lineups that could throw out there, if he's out there now playing with J-Dub and Shea, well, that's a lot to deal with considering who's guarding AJ Mitchell and when is he going to get the ball. And so if he's able to kind of just either start or get the ball when a team's in rotation and have that scoring mindset, it just adds another layer, because it's, we've seen Aaron Wiggins have big days. We've seen Isaiah Joe come in and shoot. It's just another person that does stuff on top of everything else we're dealing with. And so that's probably been the most impressive part, is the consistency of having that kind of confidence within what OKC does.
Yeah. J-Dub has been out for a majority of the season. He played 3 games. He's getting better each game is kind of the way that I would put it. He looked a little bit more active in the last game, but what have you seen from the way the Thunder have kind of adapted to him being back?
Well, one, I think it was a reminder of how much his drives help the Thunder. And it's like, oh yeah, he can immediately just get downhill, or we can run a high screen for him and he can put pressure on teams. The defense for me is what jumped out when he first came back, because I don't know if people give him some of the same kudos because of the amount of defenders the Thunder have, but like his ability to get after it and defend multiple positions and rotate, it's tough. Like that to me is the Thunder's superpower. Just like not just how they play defense, the amount of people they have that can guard other teams' best players. Like you're not, every time someone puts together a big three or something like that, my thought is, okay, or used to be always, okay, how are you going to guard all three of these people?
Yeah.
And the Thunder have like 4.
Mm-hmm.
And depending on how you rate it, if Jalen Williams is 4 on that list, then you're in a pretty good place, right?
Yeah.
So that's where it's like, okay, him being able to kind of switch, defend multiple positions, and just the rotations he makes, I think, get underrated. Like everyone wants to talk about their activity and the physicality, but they rotate. Like whatever opening you have as an offense against the Thunder, it goes away quick. And if you don't capitalize on that quick glimpse, they're set. Now you're trying to find something else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anybody else you want to talk about from the team? I have a couple more questions for you, but I just wondered if there was like anybody else from the team that has stuck out to you to start the year.
Alex Caruso continuing to guard everyone.
Yeah.
That's always a fun thing for me. That's
Yeah.
probably it's one of my favorite things to watch. Is just okay, who's Caruso tasked to guard? What's he going to do to him, and how's that affect things?
Yeah.
But I think that's most everyone. I mean, they're a really really good team, and like they have an understanding of it too, and so it's like some of these like third quarter runs that they go on, or it has a different feel this year.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What do you think their record's going to be at the end of the season?
I'm going 69-71.
Okay.
I think like eventually, like they're gonna take everyone's best shot.
Yeah.
And it's only gonna ramp up as it goes on. Now, I would understand if they get there because of what we've seen so far, but eventually, especially the Western Conference, you get to play some teams. Someone's gonna find something, and it may trip you up a couple times, or you may be so good that like, all right, are we going 48 minutes of this late in the season?
Yeah. Yeah. And then I want to ask you about the Clippers.
Okay.
And just clearly it's something to be excited about for a Thunder fan, watching them rack up losses when you own their draft pick. And the Thunder are this good, and they also have this opportunity to get a high draft pick. But do you think that this is who the Clippers are, or do you expect there to be some kind of turnaround at some point for them?
I expect them to play better than we've seen. I don't think it will be this all season long.
Yeah.
I think it's one of those moments where, and this is one of the hard things to do in the league when you have success, is you kind of copy and paste parts of it and you assume, okay, we did this last year. Obviously, our defense is going to be this. So if we add these type of players on top of what we already do, that's going to make us this much better. Kawhi gets hurt. Bradley Beal gets hurt. The defense slips because that's part of your winning formula.
Yeah.
And now you're not playing defense at a high enough level. Zubac isn't quite playing at the same level. Your second unit looks so great isn't there anymore. You don't have Norman Powell, so you're running pin downs for John Collins. Like, it's just James Harden, please help us. Please save us. And he's trying, and they couldn't get there. So I eventually think that they will figure things out defensively to give themselves a better chance. Like, I was like, when everything that happened, I was like, they're going to beat Atlanta. That's a galvanizing moment. I don't know why, but there's something about late travel and things of that nature that just, all right, let's go get a win. Let's happen and let's see what goes on. But I don't think they're going to all of a sudden be horrendous. I would imagine they'll fight their way back into the play-in mix.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially with what the play-in picture looks like in the Western Conference. Like, it would be kind of sad if the Clippers can't find their way into like the 10th seed when you kind of look at the bottom of the Western Conference.
It's really funny because the Western Conference is still the Western Conference, but it's so top loaded right now.
Yeah.
Like 9-13, 9-13 is 9-10. That's not usual.
No.
So it's like Dallas is making a run right now, and they're only a game and a half out. And it's like, okay, yeah, we got a lot of season left.
Yeah. Yeah. It has been strange because like the teams that are out of it, really only one of them we thought would be completely out of it in Utah, who's looked better than a lot of these teams so far this season. But like Mavericks, Clippers, Kings, Pelicans, we're all coming into the season thinking we're going to be competitive on some level, and they have not been. And then you have like Portland, who's been pretty good so far this season, and then Memphis is starting to turn it around some as well, which has been good to see some life from them. And you guys actually talked about Zach Edey quite a bit on your last show.
Mm-hmm.
and kind of the impact that he's making. But yeah, the West is just weird. I still think like it would. I mean, I still think that like OKC and Denver are probably like the top of the league, and then we go to Eastern Conference teams.
Ooh,
But
do you have an Eastern Conference team that you put up there?
I mean, I want to believe in the Cavs. Is like I really want to, but every time that I watch them, it's hard to. I have to use like my basketball imagination with them, which I don't want to do. I want to believe there's a good team in there that's ready to kind of break through, but they have not looked like that so far this season. The Knicks have had some really bright spots, and there's also been times where it's like, I don't know that defense is playoff ready. Like, I just don't know if they're going to make it. And I don't know. If I were to pick a team so far this season, based on what we've seen this season, it's probably Detroit. But do I believe that they have the second score to get through that many rounds of the playoffs? I don't know. I think it's weird. I mean, Indiana, if we were sitting here this time last year, and I would have told you Indiana Pacers making the finals, that would have been a hot take. It would have been something you could just like, what? Like, oh, Andrew's crazy. He's lost it now. And like that team made it through. So I don't know. I don't know what to think about the Eastern Conference.
The best way I could put it is it's fun because there's a lot of different teams that do different things well and they have different identities, but they all think they can beat each other.
Yeah.
And so that's the thing you have to have fun with the Eastern Conference with. Every single one of those teams, this is our time. Well, it can't be all of your time.
Yeah.
But they're going to beat each other up for the rest of the season. So we'll see what that looks like. Yeah.
This is why the Hawks need to trade for Giannis.
Oh, wow. The time is now?
The time is now.
Okay.
Because I mean, I don't feel comfortable picking anybody right now to win the East. But if the Hawks landed Giannis, I'd feel pretty comfortable. I think Giannis, I mean, obviously he's dealing with injury right now, but he'll be back in probably a month or so. But if they had Giannis, I'd pick that team. That's the best team in the East. I would say. Just having any cast of character of like they have in Atlanta, I think that's good enough to win the Eastern Conference.
I respect it. I respect it. Well, I was thinking in my head, your Cleveland take is how I feel about Orlando.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm like, yeah, I think this is a team that's going to put it together. And then I watch them, and it's like, you didn't put it all together this night. What happened?
I know. I know.
But they're scoring, so they fixed that part.
They did fix that part. I don't know. I'm very intrigued to see what it looks like when Paolo is back and they get all their pieces back together. Like, okay, now how do you put it back together? Because that's most important. Because Paolo was a killer in the playoffs last year, and is their best player. And I know things were really clunky when he was there, but like, sorry, you have to figure it out. You have to figure out what you're doing when Paolo's there. Yeah, I don't know. Who is your team? Who's your East team?
I'm still on the Detroit
Okay.
bandwagon. Cade's growth. The defense is physical. I think the scoring part is going to get interesting. So this is going to be a fun stretch to see how they handle a little bit of success and teams taking shots at them. But
yeah,
I'm still rolling with Detroit. The Knicks are still knocking on the door. I think they have more than we've seen.
Yeah. The Knicks better make it. I would love. Wouldn't it be awesome to have the finals in New York? I mean, that would just be amazing.
Knicks Thunder would be a fun series. I feel like
Knicks Thunder would be amazing. That would be so good. Go listen to the Dunker Spot. It's a great podcast. You can listen on YouTube. You can listen on Apple, Spotify, all of that. Be sure to go check out their work. It's great. Unikai's do an awesome job. It's not only a show that you can learn a lot from, but it's also really fun. Like, it has a great vibe to it. So
thank you.
Check that out. Anything else you want to promote before we get out of here?
Nope. If you want basketball analysis, Steve Jones 20, you can find me. Other than that, be kind to each other.
Okay. Please be kind to each other. So I'm on Twitter today. I'm like, more Steve Jones in the world. All right. Thank you guys for listening, and we'll talk to you guys again tomorrow. Until to die.